Hey guys, welcome back to Simple Acre Homestead. Thank you for joining us today. Spring is in the air, even though it's very cold today. Ducks are starting to lay, and they've been dropping their eggs everywhere around the pen here. I've been collecting them. I've got about 10 eggs in the house. I'm going to put in an incubator, but I've got some extras here that I can't fit right now. But I found now that they're starting to actually lay in one spot in the back of this coop, and so I'm going to leave their eggs there. I boxed it in a little bit to try to contain it a bit better, and I'm probably going to add some more straw to it, but I have to kind of do that gradually so the chickens don't just run to it. But I'm going to show you where this nest is. I'm going to add these eggs to it, and hopefully the ducks will keep laying there, and eventually maybe one of them will go broody. This year we're actually going to hatch and grow our flock of ducks a little bit, probably more to harvest. Rusty likes to get his 2 cents in. Probably to harvest it later in the year, or we'll sell off some ducklings. But last year we didn't really pursue this. The year before we did have ducks that we had harvested with our chickens, but we're gonna give it a shot again this year. But that's not what this video is about. Just so you guys know, we have other eggs we want to show you. We're going into another little venture this year, and they're a much larger egg. We'll check that out in a minute. Okay, so here's where that nest is I was telling you about, guys. So like I said, I just kind of boxed it in a bit so the eggs don't roll out, and hopefully it can just contains things a little better for them. Those 3 were here this morning. I'm going to add these 4, and hopefully they will keep laying in this nest. And in previous years, what happens is they'll get so many eggs, and then one of the ducks will suddenly go broody, and the others will start laying somewhere else. So let's hope that happens this time, but we'll keep you posted. Let's go in the house. I want to show you those other eggs I was talking about, because that's what we're really excited about. Okay guys, so as I mentioned outside, we've been bringing the duck eggs in to incubate and pursue having some more ducks this year. But I wanted to show you some of the eggs that we are incubating this year, including the newest one, which is what this video is really about. So just for comparisons, we incubate quail eggs, chicken eggs. All right, so you see the difference here now. Let me show you some others. The duck eggs, as you saw outside, are even larger than the chicken eggs. I'm running out of hands. Our newest one that we went and picked up are American Buff Goose eggs. Now check this out. Check out the difference here. I'll put them the same way up. The duck egg versus the American Buff Goose. We're very excited about these guys. We've been researching it. They're supposed to be a more calmer goose. We're actually going to incubate them in the house this year. The plan is to have them near us, so as they hatch, we want ourselves and the kids to be talking to them, because we've been told, first time having any geese on our homestead, is that if they know your voice, they're much friendlier and they'll actually follow you around more, be more interactive with you. So the person we had purchased the eggs from had actually told me before they hatch, start talking to the eggs. So I may just do that while I'm having my coffee and talking to the incubator. But as you can see, we're using, instead of the turning that goes this way, some of the incubators, the one we have outside, it turns this way, the eggs sit on top. These eggs are so big, guys, it won't sit in that type of turner. So we're using the type that goes back and forth this way, just rolls the eggs back and forth. So in this incubator, it's a Hovebator incubator, Hovebator Genesis. And normally you can put like 100 quail eggs, 44 chicken eggs, duck eggs, quite a few. But when it comes to these goose eggs, we had to be a little more creative. So we only had 12. And the reason we only had 12, guys, is these are a little hard to find. We actually paid $10 per egg because when we looked to find these geese, there was nothing in the area. We were looking at driving 7-8 hours to buy geese. And the price range that we were finding were anywhere from $50 to $100, depending on whether it was a goose or a gander, how old it was, etc. And then we found this ad on Marketplace for Buff Goose eggs, $10 each, and we went, whoa, it was like 45 minutes away. We went and grabbed them. There's 12 of them in here. And then, pardon me, I just made up the space, added a few duck eggs. And the reason I did that is duck eggs and goose eggs both hatch around the 28-day mark. So it won't be a big deal to have them hatching at the same time. And they'll be living together out in the yard anyway, so it's not like an issue as far as having them hatch together. So we're very excited about this, guys, and we'll keep you posted as we go. I'm really hoping they hatch, because it's a lot of money if they don't, but you know, you take that risk. Talking about hatching, we did hatch some quail very recently. Unfortunately, we had a horrible hatch. That's the other reason we brought this incubator in the house, is because these eggs are so expensive, we don't want to take a chance. The quail that we tried to hatch out in the new barn I showed you in a couple of videos ago, we had a cold snap that really brought the temperatures down, and the incubator just wasn't able to keep up. And we actually only had 2 quail hatch out of that batch, which was extremely bad. It's very unheard of when you're hatching quail, because they're usually a very good hatch rate. But I think the temp dropped just for too long, and by the time I realized it and threw blankets on the incubators and things like that, it was just too late. So we had 2 hatch, and I think only 1 is actually going to be strong enough to survive. So unfortunately, we kind of learned a lesson there. I've still got incubators going in the barn, but now I have blankets on them, and it's keeping the temperature up without an issue. But yeah, kind of one of those things you live and learn. But anyway, guys, we'll keep you posted on these eggs, and hopefully you can watch these geese grow up with us. And I think it'll be pretty exciting. So thumbs up if you don't mind, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you on the next video.